Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
How are you feeling these days? If you're struggling with grief, you're not alone. Visitation is taking place tonight for 7-year-old Grant Lee Johnson, who died from leukemia last week. The West Fargo boy is one of 3 local aides who have lost their life far too early. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard reports on how you and your family members can better deal with the hard times.
Landon Solberg, Miles Allen, and Grant Lee Johnson, 3 boys that had a huge impact on West Fargo and beyond.
We tried to be straightforward with what was going on.
Sadie Rudolph is one of the many parents that had to explain to her kids about the loss of their family member, friend, or classmate.
And just let them ask questions and answer the best that we could. Make sure that you're always being kind and courteous, and you know, people are going through things that you don't know that they're going through.
Kids most certainly do experience grief, and it can look different depending on the child and depending on their age. They may withdraw, they may feel angry.
Sherry Hashbarger with the Village Family Service Center says it's important to be honest and direct with your kids. Don't use euphemisms like they went away or they're in a better place.
It's okay if they see you cry. It's okay for them to hear you talk about how you're sad.
She says it's important to remember the 3 C's.
They did not cause this, and when it comes to cancer, it's not contagious. And remind them that they are cared for.
Reminding them of all the people they have in their lives and all the people that love them. In West Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
If you think you need to talk to someone, head to our Valley News Live app for information on that. Meanwhile, visitation for Grant Lee will be from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight at West Funeral Home in West Fargo. The funeral will be held at 1 p.m. tomorrow at Prairie Heights Community Church in West Fargo. His family is asking people to wear Grant Lee t-shirts and hats, Vikings clothing, superhero shirts, or anything that reminds you of Grant Lee. Not bad for a Monday. We'll take the sunshine and mild temps any day. Unfortunately, today's weather won't last all week. Let's find out about tonight first. Here's Hutch with your No Wait weather planner.
Andrea, tonight the sun's starting to leave as we have a few flakes moving our way, and we are monitoring a storm we've been talking about since this time last week. First and foremost, let's give you a couple of headlines of what to expect on Wednesday. There will be Wednesday morning impacts to the commute. Brief blizzard conditions will be possible, and some will see temperatures fall 30 to 50 degrees. From the wee hours of the morning to the afternoon. Not a lot of snow, but the combination of wind and snow will be brutal, and those deadly wind chills will establish themselves throughout the day. For tonight, temperatures are in the 20s across the board. We have a little bit of light snow here in the central Red River Valley and down in Dickey and Lemoore counties as well, where you see the darker blues heading into Ada and Hillsborough. Some of the heavier snow pushing in. It will still just cause a dusting to a ½ inch as we go through the evening hours, and temperatures here in Fargo will slip into the teens. Likewise, mid-teens by late tonight, near 10 degrees in Grand Forks. We'll have much more in hour-by-hour style on Wednesday's wild and wintry weather. Let's just say it's going to be pretty brutal. All those details here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Insurance Commissioner John Gottfried is urging North Dakotans who purchase subscriptions from the company Air Med Care Network to contact his office. He has issued a cease and desist order on the company, claiming they are illegally selling the subscriptions. Gottfried says a consumer protection law enacted in 2017 states the sales of these plans are predatory and counterintuitive to health insurance. If you have purchased a subscription after August 1st, 2017, you can call this phone number, 701-328-2440, or email the North Dakota Insurance Department at nd.gov. One person is recovering after being hit by a car while walking near the MSUM campus. The accident happened around 9 this morning at the corner of 7th Avenue and 10th Street South in Moorhead. The pedestrian was hurt in the crash, but we're told is expected to be okay. There's no word yet on whether the driver will be cited. Dilworth firefighters were mistaken for imposters over the weekend. Fire Chief and Clay County Sheriff Mark Empting says they were just doing their jobs. The two were outside of an apartment preparing for a training at the end of the month called First Officer in Training. They were approached by a person and had short conversations where they were asked to present their badges to prove they are with the fire department. Empting says they presented their IDs and followed protocol. However, there was some sort of miscommunication when he received a call about it.
They asked me about it, and I'm like, I wasn't aware of our guys doing that. And he said, okay, fine. I said, if there is something there, go ahead and report it.
Empting says if you're ever concerned about someone around your home, ask them for an ID or simply call 911 to have authorities investigate. One man took to Facebook yesterday after finding condoms and family planning products locked behind glass at a Grand Forks Walmart. He's concerned it would deter people from the products and practicing safe sex. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a man and experts today who say locked up latex is only hurting the problem.
Buying condoms is already a process that can make people blush.
Well, I'm going to go there, I'm going to buy cauliflower, carrots, a sub, condoms, here we go.
But now in an effort to protect high theft items, many Walmarts and other drugstores in the Valley are locking up sexual health products.
It just kind of struck me as odd.
When we think about condoms being stored in places where anybody, including young people, might have to ask a person directly for the condoms or might have to take an extra step of getting someone to get the key to unlock something, it makes it a real barrier for people to be able to use those products.
Kerry says while he understands the financial move, he worries it might deter people from practicing safe sex altogether, something Secor Turner says she agrees with.
If people aren't using condoms, we're going to see an increase in sexually transmitted infections.
She says those with lower incomes who already have other accessibility barriers are the ones who will be impacted the most.
Not everyone has the ability to get out and get those products in the places where they are available for free. So we know that most people have to frequent a grocery store, for example, or a big box store.
Secor Turner says 1 in 4 people under the age of 24 have already had an STI and says situations like this aren't helping the issue.
If we make condoms not available to people, it doesn't mean they're not going to have sex. So it's kind of a counterintuitive situation.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Experts say you can find free contraception at most college campus health centers, public health buildings, and Planned Parenthood. We reached out to Walmart for a comment today. We still have not heard back yet. President Trump met with a group of governors today at the White House. The meeting focused on shared bipartisan priorities, including combating substance abuse, improving mental health, lowering drug prices, strengthening America's workforce, and fighting the coronavirus.
That's one way to do it, I guess. But they have been so focused on the impeachment hoax that they haven't had time to do anything else. But we're ready to go with a big infrastructure bill if they're ready to approve it. We're also ready to lower drug prices very substantially.
Officials say President Trump also took questions from several governors. 4 members of China's military are charged with a massive hack of Equifax. The 4 were indicted by a federal grand jury last week, with U.S. Attorney General William Barr announcing the charges today. They include economic espionage and wire fraud.
The scale of the theft was staggering. As alleged in the indictment, the hackers obtained the names, birth dates, and social security numbers of nearly 150 million Americans and the driver's licenses of approximately at least 10 million Americans.
The 2017 hack of the credit reporting agency compromised the personal information of tens of millions of Americans. The World Health Organization has dispatched experts to China to investigate the country's response to the coronavirus outbreak. At a news conference today in Geneva, Switzerland, the health organization executive director said the team wants to learn from China's experience and support its efforts. Its team will work alongside Chinese scientists who they already have a relationship with.
So there are huge lessons to be learned from that experience, but immediately, obviously, understanding better issues around the origin, source of the virus, issues around severity of the disease, answering all of those questions.
China reported a rise in new virus cases today, discouraging news since the country has imposed strict disease control measures. Exciting news for residents of Dilworth as work continues on a new restaurant and strip mall in town. Officials say by late June, Myron Canodal will be opening a new 150-seat restaurant with a full-service bar and banquet room. It will be called the Silver Spike, and it's located at 314 15th Street Northeast.